Am I coming in? Am I coming in? All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Easter. Hello. Do it. Yeah. Oh. 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 All right. I hope you enjoyed this. This isn't really an unholy picture right here for the prep stream screensaver. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. How's everyone doing? Hello, Orca fam. Hi, y'all. Uh, uh, so today we're doing a special stream today. I figured.
It
Yeah,
seems in your anger you killed her.
you cute. Is it? We need a different. We need a. Need a different. Okay. Let me see. Let me get a image here. Do Palpatine.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
So today, this one. So today we are doing a Machinima tutorial, a step by step to teach you how to make your own Star Wars stories in JKA or Movie Duels as I use it. You can use plenty of mods. I use Movie Duels because they have a lot of animations and stuff. Plus, it's like easier access. I used to use Galactic Legacy. They have a lot of good content. But I think it just kind of lacks the riff polish that Movie Duels has. I'm also a valued Nitro booster of the Movie Duels, so I always try to support them, and even as um, and I Jedi Academy. Why Jedi Academy? I could do KOTOR. Um, Frankly, I think KOTOR is a little outdated. I know there's some fan film. If I had the models and assets, but the like animations that KOTOR had, then I would probably do KOTOR. But but that's just not me. And I think I've done. It's been 4 years. I would say a lot of my machinima stuff has been built. It's what grew my channel the most, and I'm always like, even as I evolve my skills, I always go back, and I figured I would pass y'all my skills, y'all, to you, and show you how to create a story in Jedi Academy, or just create a video how I do it. I'll show you my work process. Um, for the record, I will show you guys the second part of this video, which will be another stream, will simply be AI lip sync, which is simple. Um, I'll show you guys that. That's a new thing, though. I'm just going to show you the classic way of doing it without the lips and basically the way I did Plagueis Episode 1, Rise of Skywalker, blah, 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 you know. How many chapters of Plagueis Episode 3? I'm not going to talk about Plagueis Episode 3 anymore until it's released. In fact, I'm not going to talk about AI anymore. I'm not going to review any more AI videos, even by Chronicles. I'm not going to review. I'm not. I realize that AI is just kind of a tiresome subject for me, and I just rather not talk about it. But the same with Plagueis Episode 3, because if I keep saying Plagueis or keep giving tidbits, a lot of people are going to expect it to come out soon, and I don't want to bring up that hope because I still have a lot of work on it to do. But I will say, you can expect it soon. You can expect it soon. How about that? Coming soon. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, I'm gonna show you today how to do it. But first, for the first time, I'm going to shout out some people before we get into it. We do have members. We do have some channel members here. So, if you guys have not become a channel member, so we have an Orchid Knight, Patrick Mick MC 3827. You are Orchid Knight. I'm shouting you out. 10 months, a member. Thank you for support. And then we have Captain Lee Dai. He's been a podling for 9 months, and he recently rejoined. He's a valued member. Those have been my oldest members, and I'm glad to. And then now, recently, we have Sarius Mutor, who also who also is the voice actor, who's a valued friend and supporter. He's also helping write some scripts for me. Besides him being a member, I'm also shouting him out because he's a member, but he's more of a producer. So, shout out to my members who especially the George Lucas. I see they have the George Lucas icon. That is a very good icon to have. That um that show members gained cancellations. No, everything's all good. Uh, and I actually give this advice to everyone who um, feels like the AI. Don't let the AI and stuff like get to you. In best, I think just ignoring it and doing what you feel like you want to do is the best thing to do. Um, and why I want to pass on my skills in machinima making, because I know there's some people that value machinima making over making images move from AI generated images move. So, but that's all I'll say on the AI subject. But anyway, let's get to it. Uh, let's start this off. I feel like I misspelled machinima, but so the first thing that I do when I'm gonna produce a story is I write a script. Um, so we are gonna go to. Um, so you need a few things. You need a recording device. I use NVIDIA Shadowplay for 4K resolution. It'll record. Uh, Shit, I cut out. I cut out. Okay, so as I was saying, I don't know what I missed, but I said I use a few programs. I use Google Docs. I use Vegas Pro. Um, I use you can use DaVinci, which a lot of people use because it's free and everything. But pretty much the reason why I do Jedi Academy machinimas is because uh, video game graphics aside, I think it has a sandbox of all the characters from Star Wars, the most you can. And the ones that aren't there, you could still like put them in there. Uh, it just has that, and it's just an easier like thing to use. The most, as well as a bunch of maps. It just has. It is just a growing. It's still a growing a game too. Mod. A lot of people develop models. I've had some models created. It's just growing and growing. Now, as we get into 2026, some people will see this as outdated. I know a lot of people. Uh, I don't be like downtrodden by how people feel about the look. You could still use this as a great storyboarding tool for actual film stuff like that. But let me get into. So we are going to pretty much start with a simple story. Um, you have to be also committed. This can take like people will say that this is pretty much like I saw like someone say my Plagueis thing was just the audiobook with medium shots. That's true. You know, I'm not denying that, but it's my cinematic portrayal of a book. And the Jedi using a Jedi Academy, you can give a cinematic portrayal of your story, like whether it be like your own canon, EU story, stuff like that. You know, it's just a nice sandbox to work in and play around with. Uh, I think I'm hoping one day that we do get um, that graphics like the code of Jedi Academy remains, but the graphics just get better and better, and then we can use like actual Battlefront 2 models in Jedi Academy. I think that would be really cool. But let's get into it. So we're gonna use a project. We're gonna use we're gonna use an example. Let me see if I can find. It did a sample. So we have one. I have a project. If I could find it, what we could do, I guess, is a scene. We'll do a scene from a book that's already been voice acted. It's been years. I've done so many projects. I've tried many things. I'm thinking. So here's the first step: thinking of a story to do. You could adapt a book. You can make your own story. Let's go with hmm. Let's go with. Let's do a scene from Labyrinth of Evil, and let me see here if I can find the voice lines here. But let me bring this up here. Let me bring my window up here. Let me see. I want to reiterate to everyone who joins asking about Plagueis. I'm not going to be discussing Plagueis Episode 3 anymore until it's released. So I'm just tired of people asking about it. Okay, there we go. So the first thing, you want a script made. So let's go to Google Docs. Create a new doc. Okay. Actually, no. I already got one. Video doc. No, NJ. No. See, I have so many. There we go. Test scene. All right, here we go. So here we have a scene from. Hold that thought. Yeah, fix that. Google Docs. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we have a scene from Vector Prime. This is from the book. It's just an easy. It was just. This is just a test scene that was recorded for me. This has Luke, Mara, Jade. All right, so we're going to adapt this scene for Jedi Academy. So first thing you want to do, if I could find it. Did have the All right, so I need to find the voice lines first, but so we have the script here. Aha, I found it. We're gonna take so what you're gonna do, go into your thing and create a folder. Your computer, make a folder, because you will have a lot of stuff, and I just say this as like a precaution. So okay, go to projects. So we're going to make a project here called the New Jedi Order. And here you're going to create. Here you're going to. And here you're going to make a few things. You're going to make voice lines, sound effects, and you are going to do recordings. You can make a separate folder for recordings. I do not like recommend. And then you're going to. And then you're going to go to projects, New Jedi Order voice lines. And then you're going to get. Alright, so here we go. We have the NJO scene here.
Hey, Chewie, make sure he doesn't get in any more trouble. Yeah, with Chewie. And stop playing with that lightsaber near the circuits. I don't want that thing going off.
Alright, there we go. We have our scene there by Master Luke, who provided the voice lines. A nice, simple. And again, hello to the chat joining us for this tutorial. Okay. Now we're going to load up Jedi Academy. Now we have Jedi Academy loaded up. We have Vegas Pro loaded up. We create a new save file. My fan film, and I have a whole folder of save files there. My fan film.
Hey, Joey.
Now, the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit this all together, and this is where we create. Um, you can always do something with visuals. I think doing something with the actual voice lines first it's a much better process because you get a flow of the voice acting. So we're going to go to hold on. So I want I want you to find on YouTube, find all your sound effects.
Hey, Joey. Make sure he doesn't get in any more trouble. Yeah, with Chewie. I don't want that thing going. Teenagers. How'd your meeting go? Wonderful. How else could any meeting chaired by Chancellor Borsk go? They've got their problems. That Bothan and his friends are finding that running a galaxy isn't as easy as they thought.
So these lines are a little fast. So for each character, I tend to
Wonderful. How else could any meeting chaired by Chancellor Borsk go?
when it comes to voice delivery, you want the right pacing for each voice line, especially if it's one voice actor doing everything.
How'd your meeting go? Wonderful. How else could any meeting chaired by Chancellor Borsk go? They've got their problems. That Bothan and his friends are finding that running a galaxy isn't as easy as they thought. So they find scapegoats, such as a problem in the Outer Rim. So they find scapegoats, such as a problem in the Outer Rim. Someone's trade blaster fire with smugglers, Jedi they believe, and that doesn't sit well with some senators. Probably costing them a fortune. Probably costing them a fortune. Whatever the reason, the council's not happy, which means they're dumping it on you. Council's not happy, which means they're dumping it on you. So what do we do about it? Didn't you say Lando was out there, mining asteroids or something? He's out there. 2 planets, Dubrillion and Distrillion. Near an asteroid field he's modestly named Lando's Folly. I need a thread to pull, maybe some insider information. That'd be Lando.
But pretty much, I would say mostly this is paced well. He's just doing all the voice lines bit by bit. I think it's paced well. So. Hello. Imagine later implementing, if you have an upgraded budget, a green screen with costume actors similar to older LucasArts games, and a good voice impressionist like Ryan Golden. Yes. So, my opinion. So my opinion on the blah, blah, blah. I lost my train of thought. So here's my opinion, boys, on a lot of. I see a lot of projects have this problem, even AI films. I think when it comes to I'm just gonna say it. I think every project excels much better when you have a voice actor. When you don't have a voice actor, context is lost. It could be lost, and I'm not opposed to voice lines. All voice lines being AI. Like if there's a minor character that has one line that's like doesn't really need any emotion or something like that. I think voice actors are just that's fine. No one's gonna get mad about that. But having like you need someone to play Luke Skywalker. It's not. And if you do the voice yourself, and if you think you're capable of doing that, fine. But it in the end, it's always not, even with a voice filter. And I'm not totally opposed to voice filters. I think voice filters sometimes they're needed for some characters, um, in this day and age. But I don't think I think. But would I have every character be a voice filter? No, no, no. You need an actual voice actor to create a to give it their all, basically. Which is what that's the second step usually is when you have a script, you get the voice actors. Because I when you have all those voice lines, then you're ready to make a machinima. And that brings us to step two, creating a casting call. But casting call. So this is Casting Call Club. This is a website I've used for years. Um, it's basically a place where people can find voice actors for their fan films. If you thought finding a voice actor or you're afraid to find a voice actor, there's plenty of people that will be willing to do it for free, even. Uh, Everyone I mostly worked with, besides a few people who I've paid for, they do work for free, and you can create a project describing the roles. You can create that for free on Casting Call Club. And sometimes all the voice roles that audition, sometimes they're not what you wanted, but sometimes that's just not what we want. Um, and then that's where you start looking elsewhere, and you can look on Discord. There's a bunch of people that will be there to they will want to voice act because they like having a big they like having a big resume of stuff they've done. So yes, I do suggest, for if you're interested in if you're afraid of like you can't find any voice actors, Casting Call is your friend, and I still use it to this day on many projects that I work on. So yes, but that's besides the point. Back to our scripts. So we have our voice lines, we have our scripts. Uh, we don't have the sound effects yet. I think I have Chewbacca. I also I do think full AI voice acting. Uh, I do think full on text to speech AI voice acting. It just kind of sucks. I mean, we talked about this the other day when I reviewed that video. I didn't think the AI was like bad. That Dark Tenebris video. I didn't think that the Tenebris thing was that bad. Besides the bad fanfic additions and stuff, but I did think a big thing that ruins it for me was the AI voice acting, which uh, I just didn't see, especially from a story. I just didn't understand that. See, voice acting can also make and break a project too. If you're voice acting, you need to be careful about having the wrong voice actors for roles. I've had that in the past, where some voice actors I think sound good, but then some people don't like them. Nothing against the voice actor, but some roles they're not just they. Some roles they're just sometimes they don't fit when you think they fit. So you need to be concise about voice actors. Another thing on voice acting is you need to be sure if your project's going to come out or not. Voice actors are used to projects that don't pan out. I've had a couple projects I've cast that I didn't end up doing, um, and that's unfortunate thing with my channel because sometimes I don't have time to. Originally, I had time to do blah blah blah. You know, I feel bad, but at least try to get something done. Like at least try to get something done for them. Because some voice actors are willing to wait months. They're willing to put. They're very patient with. They know how long these things take. So having at least a preview for them and showing, uh, because then when you develop a rapport with voice actors, they will come back and work with you again and again. That's a respectful workflow, and you know, but don't just also I would never advise a voice actor, hey, can you I have a AI slot, could you don't they won't ever do that. Don't try to create an AI video and have someone voice act it for you, because that's never gonna happen. Just never gonna happen. But back to what we were doing here. Okay, so we're gonna go into JK now. Oh, right. Hold on. Before we go into JK, we need to get some sound effects. If I could find it. Start. We're gonna get some Chewy lines.
And stop playing with that lightsaber near the circuits. I don't want that thing going off. Teenagers. Well, how'd your meeting go? Yeah, with Chewie. And stop playing with that lightsaber near the Yeah, with Chewie. And stop playing with that lightsaber near the circuits. I don't want that thing going off.
Now let's get into the so now that we have our scene and voice lines, let's go into capture. We're gonna go into movie duels now. So there's plenty of maps where you can find the Millennium Falcon. So the setting is probably Yavin. So let's go Yavin 4. So it should be somewhere. If not, then Great Temple. I think that's it. All right, let's go to the Great Temple. So this is on Movie Duels, and also this is all console. So, all right. I think I don't think this is the right map. Okay, this is not the right map. What is going on here? Well, this I know what's going on. It's okay. There you go. Camera was bugged, so this is not the right map. Let's try another. Not then I have to. Then we have to get a custom map. Okay, the Great Temple. I think this is just the Masani like room. By the way, I know some people are like annoyed that I haven't like talked about Plagueis a lot. But I am making progress on it. I just think the more I talk, if I keep revealing previews, a lot of people are again expectations. There's expectations a lot of people have. Okay, this is the Great Temple. Ooh, this is a nice room, but not what exactly what we want. Aha! Oh, where's the Falcon? There is no Falcon. There's no X-wings either. Okay, well, uh, I'm just gonna get a Falcon. I'm just gonna get. We're just gonna get a map with the Falcon on it, and I think I know where to find one. Tatooine outpost. No, that's Death Star. Echo Base. Right here. Let's go. Let's go to the Force Awakens map. All right, so this is a pretty simple. I'm gonna show you shot. I'm gonna show you pretty much shot composition. Um, I'm gonna show you shot compositioning, and don't. This map is just a test map, even though it's dark. I could probably show you also how to make things brighter, but right now we're going to freeze NPCs, and we're going to go to Rebel Alliance, and we're going to spawn a few. We're going to go Han Solo, and Han Solo's model's bugged, but that's not a big deal for us. This is just a test after all, so his model's bugged, but alright. No weapon, or it should melee, right? This new update. So this new movie duels update has a glitch where the minigun. I think it got patched already, but I've just been too lazy to fix it. All right, there you go. So we're gonna find somewhere with more light. This map is pretty dark. All right, this should work over here. Okay. Actually, a little more. All right, this should work right here, and I think there's light right here. All right, there we go. So, one thing you should do is go to NPC scripts and add more light. Because sometimes the light sources are a little too dark. And a lot of people want to see what they're talking about. Also, you can see how horrible his eyebrows is. I don't know. I think it's a graphics card issue. So, alright then. Now that we have that, we go to character. So he's talking to his son, so we're just gonna put Ben Solo here in place of Jason. And they really don't have like They really don't have like a. Okay, we're gonna use this kit. We're gonna use Young from Dark Forces 2 as like Jason Solo for now. There is a Jason Solo model, but so we'll have him here. On, he's unimportant. So there he is. Then we add Chewbacca here. Chewie. We can. I used a different Chewbacca model, but all right. There you go. So Chewie is right here, like a prisoner with a melee. So there we go. And we're gonna move Chewbacca here a little bit. There you go. Now we have our shot here of now we have Han Solo over here. Finally, we need to add Luke Skywalker. And Luke should be around here somewhere. Ah, there he is. Yeah, well, forgot about this Luke model. Let's see. Much better. This is new Jedi Luke Skywalker. Oh, he does have the. What I really like about this Luke is he has his vest here. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, I actually like that a lot. Okay, well, okay, so we have Luke here. E2 also gets more light. So now we have our two characters talking to each other. Now we have our scene compositioning, and this is fucking ruined. I like the Han model. I'm just think it's broken because of like the graphics thing. Is the eyebrows are broken. I do hope someone like makes a new version with a better head. I like the head though from this model. It's unfortunate how broken that is. And I like this Luke. I like this Luke better than the other one. I think it looks ugly. Other Luke looks like I don't know who approved that. Uh, but whatever. All right, so now we have our. So now we have our shots here, and so okay, so here, so here's a few things. You can use the camera tool on Beatles, but I think that's time consuming. So I use something called Cam SP. Uh, Cam SP is pretty much binded to a keybind, and I think on the fly like angles. Also, first off, you want to get rid of the menu, so go to CG draw 2D. CG to draw 2D1 is the menu. Draw 2D0 gets rid of the menu, and even then you don't need the HUD. So there you go. You don't have the HUD. You have a cinematic view here. I highly recommend Cam SP. You might need to add some scripting to the. I might add a tutorial on JK Empire where you can fix the because there is a scripting error. You have to like add it manually to the PKA3. It's a little, it's not a little time consuming, but it's a little complicated to explain. I'll talk about that in my advanced video next time we'll talk about. So here we go. So we have our scene here, composition right here of Luke talking to Han, and then Jason up there with Chewbacca. Another thing you can do is you can also populate the world with some rebels. It's always good to have a rebel. And the rebels is broken, so we have a stormtrooper. We're gonna hide that stormtrooper. We'll put him right back here. I guess it's a glitch. A bug that might need to be fixed. So, since there's no rebel, we'll go to. There should be some rebel. Here. There we go. There we go. And I have some things binded here. So these guys basically are talking. There you go. You can move these guys a bit. Here we have our scene. Now, if you have Reshade installed and all the RTX stuff, you know what I'm talking about, right, guys? Or Reshade. To make this more cinematic, this is just a basic scene composition. However you think. Your freedom of view is basically your millimeter, how kind of zoomed in you want. Now here comes the next part. We're gonna go to. We're gonna turn on Reshade. Now Reshade is what gives the world effects, film effects, and stuff like that. I use it in every film in Plagueis. It is every shot pretty much adheres to the. It pretty much makes what considered like a video game screenshot into something at least a little more like a film. Is that working? Yeah, it's working. Okay. So. The first shot we're going to do is Han Solo talking to Chewbacca. And from this angle, his head is weird. People won't know that. I'll show you how to change head angles, but from here you don't need to adjust any head because it's pretty simple. So we're gonna go to. I have a lot of depth of field levels plus. We're gonna do cinematic. Okay, and then right here is basically our cinematic shot. Now, the next thing. All right, so here's the next thing of how to make a cinematic JK Academy shot, y'all. You need to get a program called another thing like CamSP, and that's going to be exact camera and time scripts. By having the time script, you can slow down time, but you can also move the camera slowly. So pretty much, so camera follows smoothly in your tracks. Press W, tap it, and there you go. See how I'm slowly moving? It's basically following me. The camera is basically following me slowly. And this is the closest thing in term like in Machinima you'll get to like camera angle, like a cinematic camera track basically. And in JK there is no camera track. um, I wish there was, but the closest you're gonna do is the most from this. And pretty much how I do these cool shots is I use the camera tool. So now that we have our shot, we have our composition, we can begin recording. And sometimes you might need to do this over and over again to get the right angle. All right, here you go, right there. Boom. And that's our shot. We have another medium shot here of Han Solo. Now we change Luke Skywalker. Luke's head, he's not looking up. He's kind of just looking out there, but we won't. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So right here we have. So now we have this shot right here. What you're gonna do next? He's gonna turn and talk to Luke. Now, originally I didn't know this until recently, but what we're gonna do next is a pretty cool thing. All right, first I need to get the actual right code. So there's a few keybinds that I have saved to get this effect. I'll tell you what they are. So what you're gonna do, and let's go back to the screen here. So what you're gonna do now for the Han Solo shot here is you're going to CG third person camera damp, CG target damp, and by doing this you can now move your character without the camera moving and following you. And it can be a little tricky to get like the right but so here we have Han Solo looking up, and then he's gonna turn to Luke. You can also zoom out a little bit. And unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't look that great, but that's kind of how you do it. You can also walk backwards. Hey, Look at my eyebrows. Broken as hell. And then, yeah. And that's how you do a shot without moving the camera. All right, so now that we have recorded all this, we go to our scene in question. Oh, wait. I forgot one scene. Now, you also have to also undo the console commands. Just go press the arrow button. Also, forget to turn off the NPC, control NPC stop. And now we have another shot that we have to do of Chewbacca. And me, I do a lot of shots of the same angle. Multiple shots is your friend. Don't just do one shot. I mean, you can, but you. Okay. Now we have Chewbacca going. And there we have it. We have recorded. We have recorded initial shots of our scene. Let me read. Let me see if I missed anything in the chat. And this is my classic way of. This is my classic way of making machinimas that I always used. So. All right, let me. I'm trying to see the chat. My phone's like slow right now. Plagueis 3 when you said spring. I'm still working on it, so. When does Dark Ahsoka season 2? Oh wow. Jason not Ben as it should be. Alright. Well alright everyone. So now that we are done with the JK side, so you go back and forth to just doing this, but let's go to our so now that we are here, let's go to let's get our recordings here, the video. Oh shit, I think I might have made a mistake. Or no, maybe I didn't. Please don't tell me I did. No. I made a mistake, y'all. Please, no. I can't find my, uh-oh. That's not good. I did make a mistake. Okay. Always make sure your NVIDIA is not on. Always make sure your NVIDIA is not on desktop mode because it just records the corner of your screen. Still, we'll just as a test we'll just use the what I recorded. So, okay, window. Okay, so go to display capture. All right, so here we're going to. I'm just going to show you what I did. Don't. With the right video, you won't go. I have all my aspect ratio, so I do this. I adjust the aspect ratio by hand. Every shot is edited by me. So there we go. And finally, we are gonna.
Hey, Joey, make sure he doesn't get in any more trouble.
We crop that down. We have our Chewbacca. have our Chewie.
Yeah.
So people thinking this is easy. It's not easy, especially when you're adjusting every frame. You don't have to do this. You can make it, but
Get in any more trouble. Yeah, with Chewie. And stop playing with that lightsaber near the circuits. I don't want that thing going off. Teenage.
this is pretty much, and voila, we have our scene, everyone. Was that hard? Did y'all need a pacifier? No.
With Chewie. And stop playing with that lightsaber near the circuits. I don't want that thing going off. Teenagers. Well, how'd your meeting go? Wonderful. How else could any meeting chair? Wonderful. Wonderful. Go. Wonderful. How else could any meeting chaired by Chancellor Borsk go? They've gone off. Teenagers. Well, how'd your meeting go? Wonderful. How
And
else
so-
could any meeting?
And sometimes the I stretched it. Sometimes if a shot like goes too
Well,
early.
how'd your meeting go? Wonderful. Well, how'd your meeting go?
And that's pretty much that's pretty much it. A simple those are just simple camera recordings and simple shots, and you could do a shot of Chewbacca looking at Han. Let's see. You can spruce up the scene a bit. You can have a Chewbacca looking at Han. Finally, Luke Skywalker. I honestly think New Jedi. Okay, so would anyone like the idea that Luke looks like how he did in The Last Jedi? The ending, but he's wearing this. But he's wearing the Grandmaster Luke garbs with the vest and stuff. I actually there was one Skywalker Stories video. The only time I liked like one of the AI depictions was like the way it had Luke looking with the beard, and he looked actually properly aged. Uh, that's like I kind of like that depiction where he is a little admittedly older, but he's not too he's he looks like he's old. He's like a master now, but he's like late 40s, but he's got the beard and everything. I did see Chaos X Unleashed and Jello Traleg. Those are nostalgic. Those are old, those are classics. I grew up on those. I remember them. They used to like combine like footage from the movies, and they had subtitles. Yeah, I remember them fondly. And by doing this, again, but also remember you need to put in the scripts for some of these tools I mentioned. If you can always look that up in the PK3 how to edit PK3s and stuff. That's like a totally different. That's a totally different like subject. But this is just basic shots. And you can apply this to any other like fan thing you make, like in Kotor too. Kotor, there you go.
Teenager. Bring off. Hmm. Teenagers. Well, how'd your meeting go? Wonderful. How else could any meeting chaired by Chancellor?
That's pretty much the simple basics of Jedi's Machinima. Uh, as for AA refinement, like AI refinement, uh, we'll have to get that's like advanced. We'll get into that another time. But I feel like AI can the recent AI stuff. I think it can help Machinima milk it. Uh, it can make Machinima look less janky, in my opinion. Uh, but I would not. I wouldn't recommend just making every shot of your shit. I never recommend like making every shot in the full AI. But we'll get into that another time. That's a new tool I've been experimenting. So basically, a gist of Plagueis 3. That's but yeah, that's how you do a simple J. That's how I do things. People could also do long shots and stuff. Labrador Evil is a great book. All right, y'all. Tomorrow, speaking of, speaking of Plagueis episode 3, I'll show a preview, a little preview of this. So with Plagueis, every part of Plagueis episode 3, I imagine it in my head and I edit it all.
Thought to leaving the Order, where by the decision of the Council, and I have to be free to speak my mind about the wretched state of the Republic.
This isn't the first time you've been exasperated with the Council, and it probably won't be the last.
Never more than this. Even after Galadran, I've no recourse.
Easily, you leave gaps there to edit. This pretty much shows.
Several Jedi debate.
This is chapter 24, I think. I recently just edited this all together. Haven't started recording it for you yet, but
Palpatine, what a surprise! You remember Jobel?
Of course, Madame Naberry.
Likewise. Greetings, Senator.
My, and this must be little Padme. You've grown since we've last met.
Thank you, Senator. It's... coming in. Goodbye.
I never had the chance to thank you for arranging the address to the Senate about the crisis on Sevtok.
Your cause deserved no less. Speaking of which, Anaconda Far sends his regards.
A true ally. One of the few who understands what service to the galaxy truly means.
What brings you to the dock, Senator?
More than coincidence. My lady, who was that young man with your daughter?
Ian Largo.
The son of King Varuna's counselor?
Ian's a nice boy, but, well, Kunlaga wouldn't be thrilled to hear his son is fraternizing with the enemy, so to speak.
So yeah, having this so like this is kind of my another workflow. I always say I do the voice lines first, and I have it in my head how it's gonna go, how it's paced. It's all in my head basically, and then I eventually I'm gonna get to adding Jabba, and Jabba is actually gonna like right here is probably what's gonna look like with Jabba. It's a rig basically from someone's gonna play Jabba in mocap, and he's gonna dub all the lines. It's gonna be pretty cool. But again, it takes some time, and I'm still we're still working on it. So one of the differences from the book in the book, Jabba speaks English. In here, I had Jabba because this is a cinematic version. I felt it feels more it feels more it makes more sense if Jabba speaks Huttese, basically.
Black Sun TV Trade Federation Directorate.
I need no assistance. What do you know that I may not know? No.
But so yeah. But and then we have
Of the diplomacy. And look how that has turned out.
Dooku talking with
To chaos.
You are one man against a galaxy full of scoundrels.
One man should be able.
actual video or image creation would be created via a separate program. Yes, it's created via Movie Duels. I use three things. Okay, I use a lot of stuff. I use Blender. I use VR chat. Like Jabba the Hutt right here. He's in VR chat, but he's gonna be blue screened in, and hopefully played by someone willing to do it one of these days. But he's gonna be pretty much green screened in, and I use Blender. A lot of the first half of Plagueis is Blender, uh, which is cool. Um, I don't. Rarely do I use AI images. I don't use a. Actually, I haven't used any. No, I haven't used. There is no AI images in. There is no AI images in Plagueis Episode 3, if I'm mistaken, right? No. There's no AI images. No. I try not. I try not to use any AI image generation. I know a lot of people. It's just the basics of creation. You have a scene, you have audio. I think storyboarding with audio is much better for me, especially since this is a book adaptation. And I have an idea. Also, a lot of the dialogue here is shortened from the actual scene book chapters to kind of like give it a flow, basically.
Be the
Yeah.
time to let the people of Naboo in on his secrets.
If you're suggesting a challenge in the coming election, Senator, it's a lost cause.
I beg to disagree, madam. With discretion, I have already approached several members of the electorate, and they concur that Varuna can be defeated by the right candidate.
Padme? You can't be serious.
Now, right here, when this pause, this is meant for the composer. So there's also moments where I have pauses or I have a lot of space. It's for the composer, and there's a lot of temp music from Phantom Menace. I'm not gonna use. I'm gonna use some John Williams music in Episode 3, but I don't want to. I just don't want to get a copyright claim. I probably will though, because.
Zones.
Of course he has. How else would Varuna line his robes with kickback?
Like that scene where he's like Padme. They're supposed to go.
Padme? You can't be serious.
But I am, Rui. A member of the Legislative Youth Program at 8 years of age.
By having this temp music, my composer Max also he has like kind of a guideline to go. He has like a guide to go because he does similar like he ends up doing similar like stuff. I'll definitely use Across the Stars for Padme. A little the motif of Across the Stars for Padme. I don't remember if she had a motif in the Phantom Menace, but Plagueis. Here's the conversation between Sidious and Maul. I have plenty of scenes with Maul. Maul has a presence in the movie. Uh,
Easter.
As her name suggests.
but, if that's all you guys wanted to know about Plagueis, like this is I made this scene this week, so it's all ready for me to edit. I still have a voice actor I'm waiting on. Uh, we still got a lot of work to do, so but it's making progress. I still also got to do the Force Unleashed Part 2 and 3, which, by the way, all the Force Unleashed is ready to go. I just have to do the visuals for it. Uh, Real life has been hunkering me down, bros, but. Well, I'm glad everyone was able to enjoy that Easter tutorial. I'll do some more tutorials later. Uh, but I love you all, guys, and I want you all to have a great day. And cheers. Bye. Y'all have a great afternoon. A great Easter. Bye.